Your Humanities Half Hour is brought to you by the Northern Marianas Humanities Council.
Hafade Zantiro, welcome to Your Humanities Half Hour. I'm Catherine Harris. Well, you've probably heard that tourism is everybody's business. And on January 26th, over 200 students made tourism their business at the MTEC Tourism Summit at Fiesta Resort and Spa. MTEC, of course, stands for Marianas Tourism Education Council, and the students were from the school My Wave clubs. That's Marianas Youth welcome all visitors enthusiastically with the goal of promoting and understanding tourism in the school. Well, the theme of this year's summit was Discover My Marianas, and the students had the opportunity to discover more about special qualities that make the Marianas attractive to visitors. The keynote speaker was Sarah Mathews, the TripAdvisor head of destination marketing for Asia Pacific. And along with her team of 4, she's responsible for leading TripAdvisor's efforts and initiatives in collaborating with and providing support to tourism boards across Asia Pacific. The wonderful thing is, Ms. Mathews was able to bring her message down to the students' level. And here are a few excerpts from her chat with them, emphasizing the role of getting involved with social media platforms in order to promote the Marianas.
So I want you to think back on how we used to travel, right? Your ancestors would have taken the boat, the beautiful canoes that you're going to hear about, to go and visit their friends and families around the world. People in England would have taken coaches. In America, you've seen stage coaches. And that's really how travel first started. And mass travel first started when trains came about. So I want you to think back to a time, can you believe it, your parents, in fact your grandparents I should say, would not have done any research online. They would have gone to the library. Anybody go to the library now? Not the school library, the public library. You guys are super dedicated. That's why you're top of the class. I didn't go to the library that much. I spent most of the time playing games, which is why I failed school. Warning, study hard. But essentially, that was how travel was researched. We would go and read books, and we would go and listen to our friends share those stories. That hasn't really changed in a way. The only difference is, instead of watching a slideshow, I can now find out information from my friends on Facebook. I'll talk a little bit about social as well. Now, again, for some of the adults in the room, this is a normal scenario. We would all watch TV together. We would all watch one show. We would have conversations with each other. But nowadays, what do you guys do? Right? Mom and Dad are on their mobile phone. Dad's on his laptop pretending to work, but really he's playing a game. Mom's online shopping and searching gossip information. And you guys are on your PS Vita, your PS whatever. You're playing games galore. You're on your phone finding Pokemon and all sorts of cool stuff. This is how travel is actually now being discovered. Travelers look for information online. There's a couple of words that I bet you have never heard. Does anybody know what this is? Yes. By the way, none of the adults can answer this question. Does any of the kids know what this is? Huh? It's a videotape. And the only way you can go back to the previous section of the film is to do something called rewind. and the machine goes. It's very bizarre. Believe it or not, there was a time, not so long ago for some of us in the room, where we would hear the phrase, be kind, rewind, get your videotapes back on time. This is no longer the case. You don't hear the phrase hang up anymore because there is no phone to actually hang up. Our vernacular, the words we use, has evolved with the technology that we see. So it's not frightening for the adults in the room, and for you guys are the leaders in how we evolve in terms of tech. And where we used to consume content together, we now share them on Instagram and Facebook. Snapchat, does everybody like Snapchat? Wow, Snapchat, woohoo! I love Snapchat. Snapchat's my new favorite toy. Face swapping with my nephew and niece is really scary as to what they'll look like eventually. It worries them. So I wanted to talk a little bit about tourism. I didn't see a lot of you put your hands up. Did you know that it's the one industry where there is very little barrier to entry? As long as you have passion and you love something, you can actually get into the tourism sector. If you have a passion for your country, you can get into the tourism sector. If you have passion for tourism and technology, you can get into the sector. This used to be our old office when we started in the year 2000 above a little pizza shop. We had a very small team of about 4 people. And essentially the idea came about creating a travel community for you, for me, for businesses to share their experiences. We're now 3,400 staff, and we have a much bigger building, but still in the same town where the business was started. So the objective of TripAdvisor is to inspire you. How many of you want to visit London? How many of you want to go to Disney? Do you know, if I asked the same question around the world and I said, how many of you want to come to the Marianas to meet you guys, experience the fantastic food, meet the wonderful people, and view the beautiful islands? They'd all do the same. They'd put their hands up as well. And that's really what TripAdvisor is about, is inspiring you, inspiring your parents to travel. We talk a little bit about size. And TripAdvisor is the largest travel site in the world, right? It's 390 million users coming to the site every month. Every single person that is coming is a traveler. We have 435 million reviews and opinions. Every one of those opinions is sharing a story. Saipan, for example, has 10,000 reviews. Now, I'm charging you guys to grow that for Saipan and the Marianas. You need to tell everybody your favorite place for ice cream, for cake, for burgers, for ribs, and most importantly, for the local cuisine. Right. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get all hands up, but let's just be clear. How many, well, let's start from the back of the room. Presumably the back of the room are the older students, right? Yeah. Okay. How many of you guys who doesn't have a smartphone? Ooh. Sorry, can I just say excluding the teachers? Because I know that one was going to come. Right. Move to the middle of the room. Who doesn't have a smartphone? Move to the front of the room. Who doesn't have a smartphone on these front few tables? That's okay. You're not alone. My nephew, he's 11. He's not allowed one. There's too much influence from Pokemon Go. But can I just ask the few adults in the room, can you see the impact on mobile technology that has on these students, and how, if I had asked this question of our adults 3 years ago, can you believe that most of the adults would have said, I don't have a mobile phone? So TripAdvisor has a number of apps. We have 370 million downloads. For some of us in the room, again, I look to the teachers. We used to have to use the big red phone, and we'd have to pick up the receiver and use our fingers to dial and pull it around, and it would go da 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 da. Can I just tell you, there was no redial button. And if you were calling overseas, those 13, 14 numbers, you'd have to do it all again. Who knows what this little black thing is on the left? A beeper. Can I tell you, for some of us, in the era of beepers, it was very cool to have that thing on your waist, right? It would buzz and you'd be like, whoa, what's happening? You'd see a number, it'd tell you what to do and who to call. You couldn't actually call anybody on it. But yeah, there was a time when beepers were all the rage. So when we talk about mobile, it's an interesting place. I wanted to thank the fantastic team who gave me this. Now, it begins with M. Marmar. I've never worn one of these. And you know on Snapchat you can get a Snapchat version of these? I don't have to do that anymore. I have a real one and it smells fantastic, so thank you so much. But I decided to actually use that with the latest version of Snapchat. What was the new version of that? So anybody who wants to do face swap with me, I'm going to be outside. I'm ready for that. Just watch them not queue up for that. So do you know that when travelers come here, they're looking to do more things? And it's really your job, everyone's job on the island, as Chris was saying, about sharing those stories. When travelers come here, do you know what they're looking to do? They're looking to discover more, meet new people, have experiences. When you eventually go to London, you're going to want to have fish and chips. You're going to want to go to the Tower of London and see where they chopped people's heads off. Yeah. You're going to want to do all of those things. So I wanted to talk a little bit about technology and where we're going. Pokemon Go is actually really clever because, again, for some of the adults, you have no idea what I'm talking about, but it's augmented reality, which is fantastic. So I wanted to get you guys thinking, given that you're going to be the industry leaders, the captains of the future, to think about how you can bring more technology to the region. Can you imagine if you could give a traveler an experience to learn about Chamorro culture through augmented reality? Imagine that you could do that through virtual reality, giving an experience to a traveler to learn about how they built a latte all those years ago. I wanted to talk about one of the key things that really inspires travel. Yesterday I had the great privilege of meeting the Lieutenant Governor and the Chairman, and I was given an empanada. And it was so good, but I had to behave myself because I was in front of the Chairman and the Lieutenant Governor, so I only ate one, but I really secretly wanted Vicky to give me like 8. But she wasn't picking up my food signal. But food is really important. You know this because you share your experiences on Instagram and Snapchat. Instagram for the older guys in the back, but Snapchat for the younger guys in the front. So I wanted to invite you to dinner. You want to eat this? Really? Okay, you and I are going to a restaurant. We're going to a Michelin star. We're going to work on your taste buds, Phil. No. This is a bad photo of food. Nobody wants to eat something that looks a little bit like, yeah, right? I'm sure you all have excellent food at school, but I went to an English boarding school and I got served this for 7 years. Yeah, it's not good. Food, imagery, and culture is what travelers and people around the world are looking for. So when you're taking food images, do you guys have a hashtag? Yeah? What's Marianas? My Marianas hashtag. When you take photographs of food that you're having at home, use that My Marianas hashtag, because we want you to share your imagery, good photos, guys, and I know you kids take the best photos, because would you rather eat this or this? Yeah. I tell you, sugar is the best bribery ever. Yeah? We all like that one, right? Because food imagery is really powerful. Really, really powerful. When your parents or your grandparents are teaching you traditional Chamorro recipes, I want you guys to take a photo of that and share that around the world, because we all want to learn more about you. We talk a little bit about managing expectations. I love that you showed that photograph of the rubbish. It's a hard one to see of this beautiful place when you see that rubbish. I'm so glad that you're also involved in protecting your destination. Because what you don't want is not to manage expectations. We don't want what we call photograph fake out. This is in Greece, where the famous Acropolis is. And the photograph from the real hotel showed a beautiful woman with a glass of champagne looking very close at the Acropolis, when the reality was it wasn't anywhere near there. It's important to take great photographs and real imagery of the destination. So again, I ask you to share your experiences. If you're going for a walk on the beach and you've discovered something amazing, or just that the view or the sunset is incredibly powerful, share that at hashtag MyMarianas. You're all tasked to do this, right? This is now a key job for you all because it's important. Now, who's a selfie person here? Oh, come on. I bet if I went on your Snapchat page or your Instagram, you're all selfie folk. Yeah. Selfie culture. Even the ex-president of the US, President Obama, was definitely into selfie culture, right? We all do that. Did you know that selfie sticks are pretty dangerous? Yeah. Do you know how dangerous? Let me ask you guys a question. I don't know enough about the wildlife here. Do you get sharks here? Are they chewing? Do they eat humans? Do they attack? They're all sweet little ones, right? Nemo sharks. Okay. For destinations like in South Africa, where they have the great white, did you know that in 2015 there were more selfie-related deaths than shark attack deaths? So I'd like you to be aware of that, because your next selfie stick incident could involve me, right? You've seen it before when a traveler's holding their selfie stick, and then, can you imagine if they're on Suicide Cliff? But selfie culture is here to stay. You guys are the epitome of that. You want to share your experiences, you want to tell your friends where you're at, right? None of you selfie a photograph of you taking the rubbish out or doing your homework. You take a selfie of when you go on holiday and you say to your friends, guess where I am? Nah, 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 nah. And that's what we're all doing, even the adults do it. So I wanted to give you guys a challenge. In a world where there is so much information and it's fast moving, you really have a very limited amount of space to define yourself, to showcase yourself. Bland, generic statements don't work. We're a beautiful beach destination. That can be said for a lot of places. So I'm asking you guys to think about, what is your favorite part of the Marianas? What experiences can I get when I come here? The food, beautiful beaches. But one of the things you have to think about is you need to put that all in one sentence of about 10 words. You need to be able to define yourself clearly in one strong, powerful sentence. So I'd like you guys to think about that, and that could hopefully be part of the project that you're doing. For you guys to create content for My Marianas, hashtag My Marianas, for you guys to talk about your destination and to come up with a sentence that is powerful enough to really showcase what you're all about. More than just the beaches, more than just the history, but about you, the people. So I'm constantly asked when I present, and these will be the last few slides, about the future. Now, if I knew what was going to happen in the future, I'd be a billionaire, or more importantly, a trillionaire. But the world is evolving fast. This is one of the latest techs that's being trialed right now. Now, for those of you who have an Apple Watch, it's easy for you to read because you have very young eyes. But as you get older, and I forewarn you that, eat more carrots, your eyes really will struggle with a very small screen. So what they were talking about was keeping the sides of the screen large, but make it a wearable, which is what we all want, right? So the idea is this tech will give you a band which looks like a Fitbit. You can answer your phone, you can send messages, so on and so forth. When they say answer the phone, they don't mean to do that. There'll be a Bluetooth earphone in your ear so you can answer it. How many of you want to fly in one of these? This is a design of an aeroplane that was shown at a recent exhibition about the future of travel. And the idea is that we'll be able to fly in essentially a glass-encased aeroplane. It won't be glass, of course, but the idea is you'll be able to fly this way. I'm looking for the next tech champion and captain from the Marianas to tell me what product they're going to develop. The future is really in your hands. I hope you're inspired to consider the tourism sector. It's an incredibly powerful business that helps local people. It embraces the world. It makes the world peaceful. Travel makes us happy. So on that note, I wanted to thank you all so much for inviting me here. And I look forward to being back again soon. Thank you.
We've been listening to Sarah Mathews, TripAdvisor Head of Destination Marketing for Asia Pacific, with her remarks presented at the MTEC Tourism Summit on January 26th to over 200 students at Fiesta Resort and Spa. When we come back, we'll hear from the students themselves.
Hafa-day, this is Eulalia Villagomez of the Northern Marianas Humanities Council. Did you know that you can donate up to $5,000 to the Humanities Council through the CNMI Education Tax Credit Program? Donations from individuals and corporations qualify and can be used to offset your local wage and salary tax, BGRT, and earnings tax. Call our office at 235-4785 to see how you can support humanities programs in our community and obtain a tax credit for your donation. Thank you, and Jesus Masi.
Welcome back to Your Humanities Half Hour. We're taking some excerpts today from the MTEC Tourism Summit held on January 26th. Of course, MTEC is the Marianas Tourism Education Council. And as part of the summit, we gave students the opportunity to share some of their recommendations to visitors that they would share on social media, like TripAdvisor, for special destinations that maybe don't necessarily get promoted regularly, but are local favorites. Also, the older students were given the opportunity to come up with a 10-word description for the Marianas. And here now are some thoughts from the students.
Okay, our 5 unique places are Kensington Hotel, Coconut Leaf Music, Zoom Cafe, Shirley's Cafe, and Times Beach. We make Kensington the first one because it's becoming the #1 tourist destination because it is a new place and the food there is unique. Times Beach It has beautiful sights. The sunset is nice, and you can observe all the sea creatures.
Okay, so the first place on our list is the lighthouse. It's a popular, quiet, and peaceful place to take bomb selfies. The second place is East Bay with crystal clear waters with great platforms for high adrenaline rush. Third place, Paseo de Marianas. It's a great place to socialize with a variety of shops to keep you occupied. The fourth is American Memorial Park, AMP. It's a good place if you do not like seeing a lot of people. The last place is Sugarcane Dock. With just one dock, you can make a lifetime of memories.
You should visit our hiking trails in Saipan, like Wing Beach, Old Man by the Sea, and Forbidden Island. You should visit Beach Road for their beautiful sunsets. You should visit Swirls on a hot day, especially for yogurt. You should visit the street market for our local field. And you should go snorkeling at Managaha to see the beautiful fish.
10 words that describe our island would be deep sapphire waters, an island filled with diverse cultures,
Beautiful sceneries, a strong culture, friendly and hospitable people, exotic food, fun events, historical sites, less pollution like clean air, diverse populations, a slow pace, affordable prices, and less traffic.
After talking it out with my group, we decided about the CNMI. And our strapline is explore the CNMI's scenic views, rich heritage, and surround yourself with people you'll soon consider family.
Our 5 unique places is Kids Cafe. Kids Cafe is a place where you mostly get desserts. Number 2, El Toro. El Toro is a hike-down place when waves come. It acts like a blowhole. Number 3, Lau Lau Bay. Lau Lau Bay is mostly known for its golf place. Number 4, Surf Club / Cafe. Surf Club is a place where you can watch the sunset and eat food. Number 5, I Love Saipan. I Love Saipan is where you can get souvenirs when you visit Saipan.
So our 10-word sentence is, tourists don't just see the scene, they come to experience the life.
Okay, so we did 11 places because Saipan is the greatest island I ever been to, and we ever been to, right? So, 5. We'll just pick 5. So the stars are number 2. I love Saipan because it has great souvenirs in Saipan. Number 5. Thursday night market. It has our local foods, local crafts, local entertainment. 6. Our park. Parks like American Memorial Park and Sugar King Park and Puerto Rico Park. Number 9. Cha. It has amazing drinks and free Wi-Fi and good air conditioning. And finally, number 11, Santo Lourdes. It has our holy water and great gift shop souvenirs. Thank you.
Well, today we've been listening in on the MTEC Tourism Summit held on January 26th at Fiesta Resort and Spa. Tourism is everybody's business, and these 200-plus students definitely made it their business with a lot of enthusiasm on that day. This has been your Humanities Half Hour. I'm Catherine Harris.
This program was supported by a We the People grant awarded to the Northern Marianas Humanities Council from the National Endowment for the Humanities. Any views, findings, conclusions, or recommendations expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily represent those of the National Endowment for the Humanities or the Northern Marianas Humanities Council.